All right, guys, modular vest. We built this on the last video, and now we are going to build the shoulder set and the back panel for those. So we've not built these in a long time. I just want to go through and build one or two of these because we're about to do them production. So any questions that come up out on the sew floor, I will have the answer because we have freshly built one of these. So that's what this here is. These shoulder sets are the exact same numbers and the exact same build as every single LBV we have ever put out. All the way back into the 90s. This is the same build. I even have these numbers in my head still. I could run the cut list just right out of memory. So we'll start right here. Just find center. I do see that I do not have any foam here, so we'll have to get some of that at some point. We're just going to find the center on both of these. I have
like some of the first things you ever made, kind of rigs in general.
Yeah.
Because it's what you wanted as a kid.
No, it's just no. It was what guys wanted. Like I made. First thing I ever made was a mini mag flashlight, and then I made a knife sheath. But putting a knife blade into nylon for a sheath is not really ideal. And then I built maybe a dual pistol mag pouch, small utility, and LBV. But I built the dual pistol and the small utility because they went on the LBV. So I kind of jumped in the deep end, blindfolded with my hands tied. I really didn't know how to sew and started building something pretty elaborate. So when we built other things, it was much more minimal than what I'd already done. So like there wasn't really anything hard because I'd already done it. Like for a couple of years probably, zippers were a mystery to me. But I mean, you see how I rip zippers now. Like that's probably one of the easiest things I do. But it's just the unknown of it. Like I saw a guy posting, I think he posted on one of our build videos. He said, I'm about to build something with a zipper this weekend. And, you know, I'm kind of worried about it, or I'm not sure. And like zippers really, I'm like, go watch my build videos. I mean, I've gone in depth and spent, you know, hours of time telling guys how to do zippers. So if you have a problem or zippers are a mystery, you haven't watched any of the, and it's free. You know, we put all that out there for free. We take something that could be a 30-minute video, and in talking you through step by step and giving you pointers and stuff, we then turn that video into a 2-hour video. You know, it takes a lot of time to do those. The information's definitely out there. These right here, I'm going to put in on center. These are tension locks. This is what the vertical straps from the back panel and the front panel route through right here. Be aware also, I built a bunch of rigs using MMI's printed webbing, and it was much thicker. Like we actually could not get that once I'd sewed the tabs, they wouldn't go through here. We actually had to cut them, route them through, and then sew the pull tabs in place. So be aware of that if you're messing with any of that printed webbing. And I want this on center because my webbing to the side is going to rest right against these. I'm going to make my stitch pattern just a little smaller so it falls on the edge a little better than it is, closer to the edge. Now I'm going to pull this tail into place and get this right here to the edge where I want it. That's where your little screwdriver comes into play. You can even those up nicely. Flip this up. Am I in the middle on the line? Yes. I don't know why I just flipped this. It's the same on both sides. I think I want to go.
One side feel better.
I don't know. I just do it out of habit.
It's like you're always looking for the best pattern, even if it's on the same.
Yeah, and I do. I just do it out of habit. So that is how I want these. So it's a little short, but it's going to fall into place when I sew it. So I'm going to take these right here, and I'm going to fold this under. Do the same thing right here. I'm going to go ahead and put this on, make sure it falls where I want before I duplicate 3 more. So this is the front piece where you're really going to see it. So rather than sewing here and stretching, I'm going to sew here and let it fall where it falls. And while it seemed like that was too long, the stitches actually shrink the webbing up a little bit. Now that side on the outside there, that's going to get sewn through again when I put the other half of this panel on, this other shoulder pad, and edge tape it. So I'm not worried about sewing multiple lines on the outside of that. I do like that spacing that I used for this fold over, so that's what I'm going to do these at. That's 1.5 inches. Not that that matters to you guys, but that gives me a 3/4 inch tuck under. All I'm doing there is just transferring marks from one to the other. This channel right here is it's an actual channel all the way through, and you can put comm wires through there, but mostly guys are putting large flex cuffs through here, running up and then down into the other one. And you can run multiples out of here and here, and then just feed the tails back under. But some of those cuffs are actually long enough that they come almost full U-shape, especially nowadays. fuck just happened there? Did you hear that?
Yeah.
I did just cut a thread here, though, one of the strands.
When you break them, does it have that same kind of sound?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know what that was. I think the edge of my foot actually caught this, and then that was what was popping. Was the plastic letting go? So that's what those look like right there. I am missing maybe these are not. Maybe I spoke too soon when I said I had all these numbers in my head. Or these are all fives. Yeah, these are all fives. What are you doing this weekend?
I don't know. Whatever's up to other people, probably for birthdays.
Oh.
Although I never realized people over the age of 12 celebrate a birthday.
That's right, motherfucker. You already had 12 birthdays.
Yeah.
You don't get the day off for your birthday. It's just your birthday. Plus, you don't even know that your mom didn't lie to you and that that's really even your birthday.
I don't. I only remember 18 years of my life, so I think I'm 18.
You could have sewn both these on at the same time if you can do that. More power to you.
You just create more shift if you do.
You have the possibility of it. Not lining them up, you know. This Velcro is longer than it needs to be. It's going to be sewed under something, so I'm not bothering to cut it off. If you notice that I did cut the other one off and not this one, that's the deal. This is the cross piece that ties the two shoulder pads together. The drag handle attaches onto this. We will do that right now.
How much weight could a drag handle hold?
We've had snap links with guys that are 250 pounds in them, no problem, just sitting there. We've also taken that same rig, carabinered this up to a dip and chin bar we used to take to the gun shows with us. And when kids would come up and go, huh, how come this rig's $175? I can buy that one for $100. I'm like, cool. We have this, we clip it up and like two big, and there's usually like a group of them, right? Young Marines. And we'd take the two biggest guys and be like, you grab these two mag pouches, you grab these two mag pouches, do pull-ups, not a stitch, nothing, you don't hear them pop or nothing. And then I'm like, okay, now take this rig, tug of war. As many of you guys can hold it, three here, whatever, try to rip it apart. All right, now go over there to one of those mesh vests that you're saying is $100, see if they'll let you do the same thing. You can't. Every time sniper school would start up, you'd have a couple kids. If you were in sniper school, we gave you 25% off while you're on the roster. So you could get SOE kit And then we gave a full kit, which was a patrol vest, 2-inch duty belt, hydro carrier, butt pack, and I think we gave them a tack holster also. And a patrol subload, I think, also. Honor grad high shooter of H sniper class got that given to them. And inevitably, there would be some kid that would, buy those mesh vests or whatever. Well, like right into sniper school, they would be on the range, and you'd have you and spotter. You'd have shooter, spotter. And they'd go, okay, every other dude, you've been wounded. Every other guy, grab the drag handle if they have it, grab the gear, drag them back to the truck. And they drag them, a couple 100 feet back to the truck. The drag handle's ripped off of every single one of those vests. And they come in like, can you fix this? I'm like, I can fix it, but to fix it to where it won't do it again, I can just sell you one of these rigs and we're going to give you 25% off of it anyways. And that was always, I'm like, you notice none of our rigs broke. Every one of these rigs broke. So that kind of sold the guys who weren't really, I don't want to spend that much on a rig or whatever. They always did. They saw the value in it at that point. What am I doing here? Now I need to fold this over. I stagger these a little, so it's a little more in your hand than sewing it in thirds. It's a little thin that way. I stagger these over just a touch. This is 2-inch webbing. We do see other companies over the years have used like 1-inch tubular webbing, and then we've seen them put different things inside to make them hold their shape where your grip would be. To include, we've cut them open and seen garden hose inside them. We've seen silicone tubing, like for an aquarium, but a little bigger, like your big filters took, your big air pumps. We've seen plastic rod inside them. We've seen all kinds of shit in there. We had some SEALs come in that had some knockoff SOE vests, and their rigs were ripping. Their shoulder straps were ripping off, and when we went to fix them, when we cut them open, they didn't even have foam inside them. They had dish towel inside for the padding. This does not look even. I know it is though, I measured it. Yeah, it's even.
Recalibrate your eyes.
I think I want this at 1.5 inches. So my fold over is going to be 3/4. I think that's how I want this. Let's see. Does this look correct? Is that going to make that too big? I don't know. I think that looks right. And I have 9 in my head here. 9 stitches, I think is what I want. Yeah, that's right. Hear that thread pop? Yeah. One of those strands. I don't know why it's doing this. It was doing it, it does it in reverse. All right, let's go and tack this back in. It's the only place I use it on some of my butt pack attachments too. That's actually a parachute stitch. It's out of the Pointer's parachute manual. I don't know what they really call it. I call it like a 4-point dispersion stitch. It's going to have like diamonds in it, right? So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's my rectangle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Which doesn't make any sense because it's not square, it's rectangle. I'm going to go ahead and travel back in here because I want another line of stitching right here. That's my leading edge. If this rips, that takes the brunt. That first line takes the brunt there. So from there, now I'm going to go, basically, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You feel me?
Okay.
So a third. You guys can't probably see this because of all the colored pencil I put on there, but we've got rigs out there that are 35 years old right now with this assembly on them. We have never seen one of these come in for repair. Kind of zoom in there, maybe you can see it. Maybe they can see past the color marks there.
Like that, does that just kind of give it that shape to where it can taper?
Gives it the angle. It's going to kick the shoulder pads out
Okay.
in opposite. This is what ties the two shoulders together. These are the little cross pieces down here that Velcro open and closed, and your Camelback tube and your wiring will come down to your push to talk off of this. Or your hand mic. I do not know why I have extras of this and why they're so long. I'll bet he cut those instead of the 2-inch. That's why I've got these. I don't know what this is either. It's not even the right link for anything. You ever heard of that chicken place, Raising Cane's?
Yeah.
You ever been to one of them?
Yeah.
All they sell is chicken strips, right?
Yeah. Not a big fan.
Huh?
Not a big fan.
Massive business, though.
Yeah.
Lots of locations, franchised.
We have one right beside us.
Does super well.
Yeah.
You know, that guy's business professor told him it was a terrible idea. He'd never make it. I think he worked a couple jobs, launched his first restaurant, and it took off.
Yeah, we went there. I've been there once, and it's
not my thing.
Yeah, they make the chicken is unseasoned completely,
And then you put sauce
and
on
then it's
it.
like all the sauces are there.
Yeah, not my thing.
Isn't there like a?
They're building one in Jackson. I think that's what they're putting in there right now.
Yeah, there's one owned by Post Malone in Nashville. Right?
Oh yeah.
It's like the whole menu and everything's like Post Malone dedicated and stuff.
Not my thing either.
Nope.
I like some of those songs he's done like recently, but I didn't know they were him, you know? They're like
Just
collabs.
first stuff that you ever did.
Collabs with other people. Ooh, my shoulder hurts. All right, guys, blue foam. Foam is the mystery to a lot of guys. Blue foam, these are camping pads. Don't know where they're made. They used to be made in Hawaii. They are sold at Walmart. When we started building all this stuff, these foam pads were $6 a piece. Today they are $25 a piece. This is about 3/8 inch foam. All of the SOE shoulder sets for the LBVs for the last 30 years have had this blue foam in there. So if you can't find foam in a pinch, you can go get this stuff. It's thick for a lot of things. It's too thick for a lot of stuff. But if you're starting out and you want to build something with some padding, you can do it with this stuff. So there you go. Worth the price of admission. Walmart camping section. We actually contacted the company about buying this directly from them, and it was actually way cheaper to buy it from Walmart because of the bulk that Walmart was buying. We could not get anywhere close to the savings from just straight buying it from Walmart. Same thing happened with Build-A-Bear. I have a Build-A-Bear machine, like a legit Build-A-Bear machine that's in one of the shipping containers. I think Zip Hansel, did you give that to me? Thank you, if so. When we sourced buying that fiber material and having to pay shipping, it's cheaper to buy the fiber fill material from Walmart. You can buy the exact same box of it at Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Joann's. Walmart has such a volume, none of those other companies can touch the price of Walmart. Even setting up wholesale account for us, it was cheaper to buy it directly at Walmart. And now Walmart has so much shipping even that they'll ship it to you for free. So we did not have the actual template. Everything's been moved around in the building. So we just cut the pattern for this. And as you see, I am just trimming it down until it fits where I want it to fit. We're still not quite there. Lots of baby cuts. You can always take more off, but you can't put it back on. Now I'm still going to edge around this, so I want a little bit more. I want a little more room. Also, cutting foam with your scissors will ruin your scissors. Have a pair of scissors on your table, your prep cut table, whatever. Have a pair for cutting cordura and have a separate pair for cutting webbing. Have a pair of utility shears also for something like this. All right, that's where I want this. Now, every time we do one of these videos, I find something that I need out here that I don't have. So I put it in the Amazon cart and then I have it from then on. And right now I do not have, that's how much I took off. So compared to the cut of cordura here to when the foam goes inside it, it is a vast difference. You know what we still need out here? A table.
We do.
A cut table.
Yeah.
It's a big difference. Now, you can also, something we did for years on these was chamfer them. You can come through at an angle, cut part of that top edge off, which will help when you edge tape it also. When you guys start working in foams and stuff, you'll see that foam is very, very costly when you use proper foam especially. You know what we need to do? We need to run into Nashville and hit up all the plastic companies. Get samples from them and stuff.
There are a lot of them now.
I immediately found like 3 or 4 of them.
I wonder if we're allowed to just walk in and do that.
You can. Yeah, they have showrooms because they do like acrylics and stuff. They do display cases. But what we need is just to see their sample cards, because it is much cheaper to buy plastics and shit like that in person rather than to have it shipped. We've been ordering still our plastics out of California just because that's who we've always used. But we need to just have a relationship with somebody here.
We can go
Yeah.
pick up once every few months or something.
Yeah, even just take a trailer in and pick up a 4x8 pallet of it. Because that's how we're getting it now. It'll save a lot on shipping.
You don't even know what else they have.
Yeah, that's right. And hey, I need something that we can sew through, or you know, hey, I need this plastic. And they'll have it. They'll know. All right, so let's edge this up. This is the most trickiest part of this. If you're not edge taped a lot, you'll think this is the hardest part, and it really probably still is for me too. A lot of you guys will have a piece. Here's one right here, right? So when you tilt the machine back, you can put your edge tape on there. Now, depending how good you are, you could just raw edge this, come around and conceal it by folding the end of it under. I like to start with a folded under edge and finish with a folded under edge. And ideally, you have the edge of this Cordura all the way up in the bite of this edge tape, so that when you feel the edge of this edge tape folded over, you don't have any dead area inside there. Right now we're catching the outside edge, and then I'm going to come back and catch the inside, which is going to compress this foam and make it that much tighter. Here I'm coming up to the edge right here where I'm going to make this turn. I'm going to drag. I've actually got some dead Cordura here where this would push the work down. So ideally we would cut that off, but I'm too far into this. I'm going to take this dead area and fold it over. So there'll be an extra layer under that edge tape there. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I can't show you on this one, it's not there. And I'm applying tension back here too, which just slows down and adds drag to this. And I stitch it 1 stitch at an inch, and as it comes up, I turn a little, and as it comes each time. You can see I nailed that pretty well. And your screwdriver, your little screwdriver is your friend. You can push that work in there, make sure you're getting it right up in there in that edge. Now we're coming to the end here. Get these threads out of my way. I'm going to be cognizant of how much room I have to the edge. So we're here. I'm going to go ahead and cut this maybe an inch past. Sear that off. Let's bring it in a little bit closer. Now let's fold this in here. Now when you push this in here and you're still sewing this direction, it's going to want to unfold this a little. So I've actually pushed it in further than I need it to be. And I'm going to take a couple stitches at a time. And we're going to evaluate where that edge tape actually is. Pull it out and look, we're close. We're still not committed, it's not locked in. I can still click it out a little bit. I can pull it out a little bit if I need to. There we go. I don't know if you could see that or not in that, up in the binder. And it was pretty perfect. Pretty close. I could have went another 1 or 2 grains of the binding out, but that's good. That's why we're double tucked there. Sear that edge off. Applying tension, drag back here, and just letting it go slow and kind of curving the work as I go through the binder. Still being cognizant to get all of this thickness of webbing and everything in there. Ooh, way too long. Can we get, oh, that's really still too long. Man, if it doesn't pull out too much, this will work. Do we have it? Yep. About a grain too long, but that'll work. Do you know what I'm talking about when I say grain? I'm talking about the lines in this material in the edge tape. Zoom in right here. See how there's lines in there? That's what I'm talking about when I say grain. Listen. Hear those ticks? Will it pick it up?
You should. It did on the LBV, the last one.
That's what I'm talking about right there. All right. Let's go ahead and put our second and third line. Why third? Because you're not going to nail it all from the top. Not through this thickness anyways. At least I can't. Maybe one of you ninjas can. use your screwdriver, or a bigger flat blade screwdriver will hold that work down flat if you need it to. Evan came by here yesterday.
What's he doing up there?
He was out west running some classes and stuff. Big trip. He's on his way home now. Came back here from his way back out west. thread? Nope, not out of thread. It just does not want to go backwards through this thickness.
Very clicky when it is.
Yeah. I think it's deflection and it's hitting the bobbin probably. No, I am out of thread. That's what it was doing. I'm not wound though. I told Cody to cut one of these panels and do laser cut pals. We'll see how that works, what that looks like.
Is he already done, or is he doing it right now?
He was going to start. He's like, it'll take a long time to get it programmed. I'm like, okay, we'll just hold off, do what you're doing, and we'll mess with it later. So I want these to open outboard this way. So these need to mirror each other and be opposite, which is what is happening here. When you see me wiggle it back and forth, that's because one of these pieces might be caught up on one side of the foot, and while wiggling it gets it to fall down, sit into place. Yeah, it's very black, covered up. Yeah, that's how the originals were. Those guys get all their tattoos, and now they have no more room, so they just start tattooing over all that in black. What's that?
I can already see why you have to build them.
Well, we're going to give them to him. See, Sheenix should be able to build these. Because we're not sewing through any bulk like we do on the H set. This is all around the perimeter.
Put on the face before you.
That's right.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
It's like record faces.
Yeah, how do we simplify the rifle case build so that it's not $500? There's not a way to do it not and have the outcome the same.
Injection molded plastic.
Have you seen those at-home injection molders?
No.
There's some little like at-home hobbyist
Do you fill up a metal syringe like you do with a fishing jig?
No, it has like a almost like a espresso press. You fill up this hopper and it heats it up.
Extrudes it?
Yeah, you put your pellets in there and then it pushes it in your mold. Yeah. Like one buckle at a time.
At that point, you know, you got a CNC router, route out your own molds.
So that's what Brandon's buying is a desktop. Like I think X Tools has one, a CNC router. But at that point, we don't use. If we have to do that bullshit, like we're working by candlelight in a cave, no, you're going to use a wood button or a toggle, and you're going to use something with some rubber or something to where it just comes down. Quiet. They'd be super quiet.
No, we're going to be fun. You turn the wheel on the machine by hand.
Yeah.
Hook it up to a gerbil wheel.
No, you just hook it up with some gears, like and run it like an exercise bike.
Throttle it.
Yeah. I did see
Every time I see those, I like them.
I did see a cool hand turned sewing machine this weekend, and also a couple treadle ones. I do want to get one of those Singers. They have it's big. They call it a stitcher, I think, and it's got a backbone.
Like a long reach head or
Yeah.
something. Okay, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's like arc on there.
Yeah, you see guys use them for leather and shit.
Yeah.
And my dad has one that's like a foot pump one, and he uses it for car leather. So he just, and also has a hand thing on it.
Yeah, this does too.
We put
It's
windows
probably-
on those self-powered treadmills.
Has he had it for a long time?
Very
So it probably is one of those Singer tackers. Because they have like some $99 Chinese ones, but I'm sure that's not what your dad's got.
He sewed, we have these huge stage banners and we wanted Velcro on the whole side. And
So Pops did it?
yeah,
That's
so my
cool.
dad took it out there and did it on that. And the needles are big.
Yeah,
Huge.
yeah, they leave a hole.
Yeah, there was a punch hole.
We should get your dad to come in and we'll do a collaboration.
My uncle used to do it for a living. For cars.
Which uncle?
His name's George, and he does like custom cars for European cars.
Not the
Not the KKK.
Not the Ku Klux Klan uncle?
No, he's a roofer. Now.
Man, I really want to interview that guy.
I'm trying to get his phone number.
I want your dad to come down. We'll tell baby Brandel stories.
It'll all be about cowboy boots, because that's all I cared about. I thought I was going to grow up to be a cowboy.
Why don't we make a pair of cowboy boots?
I'd love to have cowboy boots.
We could do that. I see cobbler stuff for sale all the time. When you go to these like scrap yards, these metal yards and stuff, and walk around, they have all kinds of machines sitting out there that people just sold for scrap metal,
Yeah.
and they don't know what it is. They'll sell it cheap. I mean, it's not worth anybody if you don't.
No, it actually is.
Yeah. And nowadays, most people, it's not worth to them anyways. I've always thought I needed a little bit heavier duty machine for this. Who's doing your dog when he dies? Is it Declan or is it Tom?
That's what I want to. I just have Declan. Well, Tom is the one that's gonna do it, but Declan was said that he would clean it for me.
I mean, we can just get some beetles.
We can do it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We can just buy some domestic beetles, yeah.
How do you buy those? You just order them?
Oh, no, you have to have a credit card. Yeah, we can order them right through the internet. They'll show up, and we could put them in an aquarium. We could do them in, I actually have a chest freezer out there that's completely shot. We could do it in the chest freezer, because then you could put big things in there. Because my dog, the last Pyrenees I have, she's super old, and I always intend to mount them and do them like as sitting skeletons, you know. But then they die, and I'm like, shit, I really don't have time to do this, and then we end up just, you know, digging a hole. I do need to get another dog. I need another dog. I'm short a dog right now. And she's so old, man. She still barks and runs when the big birds come and stuff, but she's not much teeth behind her. I do need to do some work on the property. I need to sink some vertical poles and come up with some kind of roof structure with some siding for the emus, you know, just like lean-tos. They ain't gonna use them. I don't know why I do this shit every year. I'll spend thousands of dollars building a shelter for these animals, and they never use it. Never do they use it.
Are you gonna do those rabbit things?
What rabbit things?
You were saying you're gonna set the cages up differently?
Yeah, I'm gonna use the hay barn, the straw barn there, the hay. I'm gonna put siding on a couple of the sides.
Stop the wind coming.
Yep, and then put straw there, and then put the rabbits, because the rabbits, they don't care. They get a winter coat. But if I set that up a little, even the main one, the big one up top, if I pull everything out of there, I can get 50% more rabbits in there if I just set it up differently. Yeah. So yes, I do need to do that. But to do proper rabbit cages, they're costly. We can buy a roll of proper rabbit wire, and we can get vinyl coated, right? That stuff we've been using, that black stuff looks beautiful when you put the cages together. Yeah. But in like 6 months from the rabbit pee, they're just completely rusted. You get about 3 years out of them until they're completely breached, yeah. But if you get the vinyl coated stuff, then the piss doesn't affect it, and we just hose it off every, couple months. All right, there's a shoulder set. That is what these look like. You have a drag handle that you can actually drag somebody with. When this is tied in with the butt pack, you can actually pick a dude up with the handle on the butt pack and the shoulder straps, and you can midget toss him. We did it all the time, guys. They would just throw guys with these. These right here are routing across here, as well as across here and here. This is for your hydration tubes, your communication wires, anything else that you would route and contain. These also are here so that if you wanted to mount something here, when we were kids, we saw all the war movies, Vietnam and stuff, and they would hang grenades here. You could put a smoke on here, and then you just rubber band basically around the body and the spoon. Take a pair of Leatherman pliers, take the end of that spoon and just turn it a little bit, and it'll hold right in place. We also have seen guys put pouches on here. We used to take our small utilities and make them belt mount, and they would mount those on here. Same thing here. This piece of Velcro is always here because guys would take and put a pouch right there that held a bandage back in the very beginning. Routing here, these come up here and exit here and here. What would you use that for? Uline makes some zip ties that we use around the property, and when I use them to put tarps and stuff on, the tarp rips before the zip tie rips when it gets under snow load and such. You could put like 4 of those up here and then route them around here, and you could put 4 over here, or 2, 2, 2, and 2, and you'd have massive zip ties should you need them for anything, or for, you know, cuffs or whatever, or for your first date night, you know, on Tinder or wherever you're at. I mean, if she's not into that, why do you really, you know, want to even go out on a date with her? Like, that should be her first thing. Tie me up, bite me, you know how it is. But that's the shoulder set. So that's that. Let's show you how to tie this together now. Come together now. Is there a song that says that? I think there's a song that says that. Are you not sure?
I don't know.
Hook and loop. Which side do we put the hook on? I put the loop on this side that gets all the sewing, so that when I'm sewing through it, the hook is not eating up my thread. So let's go ahead and immediately put this on here. I'm going to stage this down just a little bit. This back panel is actually a pocket. Pocket. I was going to make a joke about your girlfriend, and then I thought, oh, I saw that dude, your favorite ex-boyfriend. What was that dude? That you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Then I hit her with the. I saw him today on Instagram. What's his name? Chalupa 2050 or some shit. It changes all the time. Look, bro, just cause the cops are after you, just changing your social media names, they still know who you are. After him for all the Cadillac fraud. There's this rapper from a few years ago, and I actually really enjoyed his content, but all of his stuff was like, and then I hit her with the, and it's kind of like whisper rap with whistle. But I wanted to have him come out and play a party. And Brando reached out to him. I never thought we'd hear from him. And he's like, yeah, I'll do it. $2,500. I'm like, perfect, we'll do it. And then he wanted to renegotiate. He wanted us to buy him a Cadillac. It was $6,000. Now, $6,000 was worth it for me to have him here. I was just not confident that if I got the Cadillac that he would actually show up, and he couldn't get here without us buying the Cadillac. There was some nonsense with it.
That's how he wanted to get here, is drive the Cadillac.
I figure the Cadillac he particularly wanted to buy probably had a load of heroin in it or something. There was something more to all of that. Let's edge these up. I always think it'd be nice to have a dedicated edge tape machine. And then I think, nope, it'd be faster for me to just put this on than to stand up and move to another chair. Could be one of those things though, when I do it, I'm like, oh my God, how have I not done this for the last 30 years?
It makes sense if you had like a lot to do, like 50
Yeah,
of these.
yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Pieces for.
We actually just we got some machines for actually doing dedicated edge tape. You can see it's been the top of importance to me that they're still sitting there, have not been used or modified at all. We bought these machines that were like $7,000. One of them was $12,000, and they had all kinds of, they would program and they tack and they had air clamps, and we had to run them off. We had to run them on air, and they ran off 3-phase, so we had to run a phase converter. and they would do all this shit, but I never got used to it. They had auto trimmers and needle positioner on them and stuff. So when you got close to the edge, you could just push the button. It would sew one stitch, one stitch, one stitch. And then when you were done, you'd rock the pedal the other direction. But I never got to where I could, I messed with it for about a week, and I'm like, I am not getting anything done. And I just got back on a 206 and then just started building stuff. And nobody wanted to use the machines. We had like 4 of those things. It was like 20 grand for all 4 of them when we brought them in. And we ended up trading them back for like 12 more of these, or the other machines. That's when we got all those 1508s, we traded those 4 machines back for all those 1508s. If you were learning to sew right from the beginning, they would probably be beneficial to you. A guy on I wasn't even gonna do a live this morning. I stood there for a few minutes. And I'm like, what do I want to talk about? And usually I just watch other content and it spurs me to talk about something. So I went and worked out. And then right after I worked out, I came in and was starting to put gear away and stuff. And I saw a notification come across. And it's like, he commented on a video from a day or 2 ago, one of my lives, I think. And he's like, it takes a ton of money to start a business. You can't just start a business. And he like contradicted everything I say, you know? And I'm like, no, it doesn't take a lot of money to start a business. And that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what made me just think of that. Like 7 grand for a sewing machine. I started on a sewing machine that I rented that was $25 a month. It does not take a lot of money. If you go to business school and do a small business loan and do all that nonsense, then yeah, it takes a lot of time. But if you just build something and show it to somebody will want to buy it. People bought my shittiest stuff, and then I spent like 10 years trying to trade them back for like way better stuff, and they're like, sentimental value, bro, because I didn't want it in circulation with my name on it, you know. Okay, I think this is going to be pals on the back, so that's what's going to dictate where we put this right off the bat. Let's find center right here. Off center, we know that this is 1.5 inches. So let's see if this space is, yeah, we're gonna have 4 columns on the back. Now we totally could put 5, but 5 doesn't line up on anything appropriately. So we're going to put 4. Now that is going to dictate where we put these vertical attachments to the shoulder straps. Now, I used to make these like 3/4 of an inch or so, and I've been making all of these larger now because I want to be able to take these and put Velcro 1 wrap through them so that you can then wrap them up and Velcro them off and dominate that, not have that flopping all over the place. We've seen guys use gaffer's tape, rigger's tape, electrical tape, all kinds of shit. Rubber bands. I like rubber bands. They come undone if you need them to. They fail over time. Not a big deal. I've spent a lot of time making fancy shit to Velcro my ratcheting tie downs down, you know, to keep them all together. I roll them all up neat and everything. And my friend Jonathan blew my mind this morning. 5 o'clock, he rolled in here this morning with a bunch of a big, huge trailer full of IBC totes. And I Velcro them up and I rubber band them so that I grab them, and then we undo them, and I always have them halfway in the center. And I watched him, and I was helping him undo these tie downs, and he's using much bigger tie downs than I use. They come all the way across the load. But he took them and then immediately pulled the strap out of the ratchet, and he put his ratchets in his bed box, and then he just rolled all his straps up and put them in there. I go, do you always do that? He goes, I always separate them. That way I don't have to fight with which way they're twisted, or if I have somebody else help me put them away. And I'm like, holy shit, man, well, you've seen it. We spend 30 minutes rolling those things back up, whereas if we just stripped them, man, that's so much clean. And it'd be faster too. It'd be faster to put them on too. And I have, on my big trailers, I have those bed boxes underneath there. I never even use them. I don't even know what's in them. I guess we should probably look before we go into a checkpoint somewhere. So I'm gonna put these, now you can do your straps right to where you sew through them, but I want them a little more, I just feel like it's a little more stable. You could put them right on the edge, but it's kind of, you fight it, you know. I want them right about the middle, so that's where I'm going to place these. And they'll kick out, right? If they come to your shoulders, they'll move to where they need to be. It's not a big deal on these. I like to start on the bottom here and then come up and around, because if you start just coming straight up, you'll see that they move a little bit. I showed you that on a build the other day, a couple weeks ago. Now, when I started building this, I thought this was for Norihiko. And he does have one on order, and most of his stuff is OD black. And I knew he had one on order, so I just built it. I had Cody cut it OD black, and it turns out he ordered OD. So Taka has one on order that's OD black. And then who was the dude on the live feed? I cannot remember who that was. I want to say DJ Guzman, but it's not. It was Fernando has one on order. So I'm gonna personally build this one. We'll go to Taka, and I'll personally build one also for the, I'm sorry, I don't remember your name. I know you, I'm drawing a blank right now. But I'll personally build yours also. Taka's got that cool little bird. I used to have one of those. It was a Senegal parrot. He said he got it as an adoption in Japan. They live a long time. Now we have to set up the birdhouse.
See the greenhouse. Let them loose in there.
You need more security. Like, you got $10,000 birds in there. No more. You need something more secure, right?
Yeah.
Wire mesh and stuff, like proper mesh, not like chicken mesh, not like these cheap aviaries and runs and stuff. But the build is very similar. But I would like to build it with like power poles. We just need to run our verticals and then run some horizontals and then just run, wire.
Just forget that guy's squirrel cage.
We do need to go look at that again. That's a big cage. You could put a lot of parrots in that.
Put a lot of monkeys in
We could put a lot of monkeys. See, the monkeys just got loose?
there. And it said something about it, but it didn't read.
Truck overturned. A bunch of, there was even one on the video. There was a monkey sitting there. And they said they have COVID and monkeypox. I don't remember what it was, but apparently monkeys get loose all the time. Like, somebody told me about it and I go, yeah, that was last year. And then it happened a couple years ago. Turns out it just happened, and it happened last year, and it happened like
Every year.
Yeah, there's a lot of monkeys currently loose in Florida that you can actually see them. Okay. What was my math? I think I always want to center this, but 1 inch off the bottom is typically what it also works out at. So the reason this matters is because it's going to match up with the straps on that. So let's do that first. We'll go 1 inch off the bottom, right?
Yeah, that's
You feel me?
possibly.
Do you know No Regrets?
No.
You don't know about Boner Garage?
No.
Are you fucking with me?
supposed to know about Boner Garage?
Look up No Regrets, but spelled with an A.
The tattoo?
Yeah.
I always see it all the time.
You see it all the time,
Yeah.
but you don't know what it's from?
Uh-uh.
Oh my God, look it up. There's a lot of things that could come up when you type in Boner Garage.
This?
Yeah,
I don't know what that's from.
No Regrets. He's like, that's how I live my life, no regrets. And then he shows it to the man and woman. I think it's like they're the parents or whatever, and it's spelled wrong, No Regrets.
Oh, I've never seen that.
And then the girl in there, she got a tattoo. Boner Garage. That's what her boyfriend nicknamed her. That was her like pet name, Boner Garage.
Oh, this?
Yeah. Yeah, I like it. Huh?
3 letters in the mail from taxes or whatever.
You got 3 letters?
Because the
IRS is shut down.
well, no, it's because the extension they put on Tennessee, even though there was one until November 3rd, which is Monday, they sent me like 20 letters over the last week saying like, you're super, like, you know, you're late on your taxes, you'll be penalized. And so I spent like 3 hours on the phone yesterday talking to the IRS, and they were like, oh,
Somebody answered?
yeah, I finally got a hold of somebody, this lady, and she was just like, I'll have to go over your case, blah, 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 and everything like that. And then she was like, by the end of this huge conversation of everything, she's like, oh, you live in Tennessee? I was like, yes. Like, I've been telling you the whole time. She's like, yeah, you have until Monday. And I was like, great.
Imagine how many people, like, in a stressful situation like that, guys that are already have problems, how many people kill themselves over that
just
shit?
because they look at it and they're like, okay, I'm
Like
through.
dudes that are just like, things are bad enough, and that just pushes them over the edge over some bullshit like that. That's how the movie should start. Young kid grows up, avenges his dad. Like the Avenger, he didn't have any superhero powers, right? Got to be the next superhero. He could be called the tax collector.
The tax man.
Yeah, and he just goes around doing like corrupt federal agents and takes those guys out. I'd watch that movie.
It was funny because she was like, there's a, I can't remember the fee if I paid with like, you know, a debit card or something, bank card. Or
There's a 3% fee.
it's like 1% if that. And I was like, she was like, either that or you can write we prefer a money order. And I was like,
It costs more to get the money
to
order.
go get a money order and mail it to you than it does just to pay you. I was like, just accept my card now and let me go on my day.
That's the chick at McDonald's that can't fucking count change. We can't take cash because we don't have anybody here that can figure out change. And our machine's down, so we can't do any business right now.
How much a nickel is.
For real, man. Like, look, give people cash. Like, not even just kids. Give fucking adults cash. Like, they cannot make change.
At this point, I just tell them whatever it is, just keep the change.
Yeah, it's not worth my
that
time
way.
to stand there.
Yeah. And I'm just gonna end up throwing it somewhere anyway.
Can I get that $4.75 back in quarters, please? All right. During COVID, a lot of places didn't they didn't get back change.
Yeah.
Who the fuck gets, like, every time I go to a point of sale service at Tractor Supply or Walmart, the first thing when you run your card is like, would you like cash back? Who the fuck gets cash back
I've never
at the store? Like, why is that such a big thing?
I think one time I did because I was going to get something off Facebook Marketplace that was like $50, and I forgot to grab cash, so I just went to a Kroger, and I got like $60 cash back on the register.
I just feel like there's something that we're not aware of.
I'm sure.
Yeah, and you know, Walmart's probably making money on every one of those transactions in some manner.
Probably incentivized to try to get it. If they do, it's like some kind of extra amount.
Okay, this panel on the back is bigger than the panel on the front. So I'm going to sew this here. I'm going to tack this right here. I'm going to tack it right here. Keep the thread in the needle. When I'd said in that first video that I can move where those attachments are to make the vest fit a bigger dude, several guys actually reached out and they're like, can you do that on mine? I'm a bigger dude.
Yeah. I mean, what does it add? 2 inches? 3 inches?
We can get a couple inches of adjustment out of it. And if we really needed to, we could make the straps on the front bigger. And then if we really needed to, we could just make I've made panels bigger. And I know somebody's like, well, fat guys shouldn't have gear. Dude, there's some dudes, fat guy aside or not, but there's some human beings out there that are just massive people. You look at some of those guys in the teams that were breachers or saw gunners. I mean, just huge dudes, huge human. Yeah, they shake your hand and you don't see any of your hand. Like, they're just huge, dude. And you don't think of like really big dudes. Like, everybody, as a kid, you think all those special operations guys are really big dudes, and a lot of them aren't, but some of them are. I've always made this back piece bigger, bellowed out, so you could just put more stuff in there. It does sit down totally flat when you put it on, especially once you wear it a couple times. The heat kind of shapes it, but it's there should you need it. You could add extra flotation in there or whatever. You know what we got to figure out how to build? Hats.
Hats?
Yeah, boonie hats. We need to figure out how to make. I know there's a machine for doing it.
That like stretches it over and packs around it and stuff.
No, but like doing the brim, there's a machine that sews. That's all one contiguous, like in that brim around there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a machine that does that. I mean, we can flat hand it. I've made one flat handed.
That's probably not as ideal as being able just to set it on the machine.
I don't know.
and have it-
I mean, I don't know anything about it. We made a dog bowl that was like collapsible, but when we were done, it looked more like a hat than a dog bowl. I used to have a lady worked here. She still, I think, works here. We haven't seen her in a long time. She would always come in with things she made. She's like, how about this? And I'm like, okay, here, let's change it and make this, right? But she always was real crafty. I actually gave her a sewing machine. And I was thinking, I just saw out in my shipping container, I have a sewing machine out there that Brandon would probably like to have. It's like one of these, just a little smaller, more for clothing. We were, when we were in the snake building, I was like, you know what would be rad? If we had one of these, because I always have to go to like different shipping containers to get wood and stuff. But it'd be cool to take one of these buildings and just build a wood shop in there. Because they have like those central air systems for vacuum and all that, and then have wood racks. And I'm like, we could do metal work. And then I thought about it that night. I'm like, no, we can't do metal work. We can't weld in a wooden building. But did you see those 2 shipping containers I sent you with those trusses?
Yeah.
That, because I see guys take those shipping containers and cut the sides out and frame them, and then they use a winch and it opens that whole side. So if we had that canopy and 2 shipping containers and then had the outside and inside sides open, you'd get all that cross ventilation, so your gas and welding and stuff, but that's doable. Plus it'd be a cool project. It'd be some badass content.
There's a dude in my town.
Where we take Amanda and she builds all of it and fabs it and learns how to weld.
That's what he does, is he builds those.
Because I don't have the boobs for it. Like,
So our house has 2 containers with a huge A-frame pitch roof that he drives under his construction equipment.
that's neat.
But he does that in all kinds of houses and stuff. And he does it on tiny homes between the 2.
Or we buy one of them silicone hoods. Looks like a chick with some big boobs. We just set up a new channel, set up our OnlyFans, and it's just welding
us out there welding and
with
fake boobs.
with cleavage.
I love it.
Then we'd make so much money we wouldn't have to work anymore.
Until they discover that we're men, and then they'd probably give us more money.
More money. Furry feet pics.
Welding in a furry costume, and it just
Ignites on fire.
probably make quite a bit of money off that one video, though.
There's when I start looking at wood splitting, there's all these girls and all they do is split wood. They're like lumberjills, but really they're OnlyFans models, I think. But there's one, and she always wears steel or Husqvarna. She's always got like orange. It's almost like a chainsaw suit almost, but it's very form-fitting and everything. But they step up and like they just maul, man, just destroy this wood. They just break these big, huge pieces of wood. But I feel like they probably make a lot of money off content. I'm supposed to have 6 of these. Do you see one sitting around somewhere? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How am I short? There it is on the ground. I'm not supposed to sew that one. Or one of these. So we will simply unstitch one of these. These are the 4 pieces, 2 on each side, that attach the panel set to the back panel. That is what these here are. I will show you in a second where these go. let's edge this up. All right, we're getting close to the end here. Edge tape this up. Of course, we're going to fold this over so we have a clean edge. If you're doing this and you can't fit the bulk of your work into the edge taper, be advised you can take a big blade of a screwdriver, put it in there and turn it, or even pry it. The metal is pliable, it's malleable. It's okay. I give you permission. And they're only 35 bucks. You could have a second one for thick stuff too if you're concerned with it.
Do you ever feel like you see people online? Most of the time I get it because fat people, it's almost like they're messaging me.
I am fat people. I am fat people.
I am fat people. It's like they're talking to me to try to get me to give them permission to try to get into shape instead of just trying to get into shape on their own.
Yeah, I wonder, a lot of people, I think they just want somebody to talk to.
them?
Yeah, I think so. Like, I think that deep down inside, they want to get in shape.
But if they're doing it for somebody else, because
But I
they
mean,
believe in them,
typically a person super out of shape is lazy. But I know dudes that are not in shape that are fucking way more motivated than I am and do way more than I do. So it took a really long time to get that big. It takes a lot of effort. And I think a lot of it, like, I've not had any, I'm sure I have some addictions, but not like drugs or alcohol or anything like that. But they say sugar is way more addictive than heroin. So, maybe it is sugar. Maybe it's carbs metabolized to sugar, or just habits, You have to remove yourself completely. We could take a big, huge fat person, put them in jail, control what they eat, and they're going to lose weight no matter what.
Yeah.
But left to their own devices, short of, well, I'll just get a donut, right? Or I'll just get a couple of donuts. I'll only eat one donut.
sooner or later it just gets tiring.
I go in cycles where I work
I do
out
too.
all the time. Yeah, I saw you.
Yeah, I'll be in crazy cycles when I'm like, But
I remember when I met you, you're like, yeah, I used to, bodybuild and weigh my food. And I'm like, that seems like a lot of fucking work. And then I watched you do it. I'm like, holy fuck. And now, it's been a few years, but look at the change. But you're, like they say, body has memory, right? You knew how to do it. You weren't
yeah,
out of shape.
no,
You
it's
just,
I wasn't in.
you were
shape
just,
I was.
we just didn't know what shape that was that
Yeah.
you were. Like, it was a weird shape.
And it's just,
But you were always strong and you were always
Yeah.
going to the gym and shit.
even when I was eating insanely bad and not doing anything, I was still working out.
Yeah. Yeah. A whole gaggle.
Gaggle of kittens. What do you call more than one cat?
11, because they do satanic rituals.
That's what I always say. All you cats out here doing casting spells. Have you seen the 5th black cat? I'm missing one.
I have not.
Lewis helped me do the feed run the other day.
You said you had one locked in the cage.
And then I realized the door was closed and I'm like, I should probably open that. I wonder if there's a cat in it. Just something told me and I opened it and she was like, meow, meow, meow. But she wouldn't come out. Almost like I thought maybe she had babies she was trying to show me. And I'm like, maybe the 5th cat's in there dead, but it doesn't stink.
I don't really pay attention to
Oh,
cats there. I say.
Ninja.
Ninja stars.
Jaeger met me at the interstate when I first came into town. Jaeger met me at the interstate and gave me ninja stars because they're illegal in California. He's like, here's your ninja stars. He literally met us at the interstate as we were moving into town
As soon as we hit Nevada, we stopped at a store and bought fireworks
and launched them in the parking lot of a gas station.
on the side of the fucking interstate.
It was Arizona, yeah. Came up through Flagstaff 35 miles an hour because that's all the truck would go with the big ass trailer.
Way overloaded.
Getting 4 miles to the gallon.
How long did it take you guys to drive it out here?
3 days?
2 overnights, and then
Till I'd run out of money. I didn't have gas money, so we just stopped. And then I'd process some orders. Guys wanted to order shit, so I'd just send them bills through PayPal.
holy shit.
And then I'd have gas, and we'd drive another day.
Well, at one point we stopped and we were running jerry cans into the tank.
We were coming through New Mexico in the middle of the night, and you see cities. Like, there's all these lights, but you get there, you get on the off-ramp, and there's a gate. Like, you can't get into the town. They were like mining towns or something.
So how did you operate when you got here? You already had the building, or
No, we had nothing when we got
the
here.
other?
We attack response, the other building. James had the front was his like showroom, his store, and then they had those back areas he was going to put a classroom in there. And then the one in the middle was still an apartment that was full of like old furniture. And then the one on the end was an office that they used. So he gave me the part with the roll-up doors, and that's where we set up. And it was just temporary till we found, but we never found anything else. So we just started operating there, and then James ended up he was trying to get a bigger building, so we took that, and then that middle part, we cut a door there, cleared all that old furniture out. Most of it was trash. And those were like meth lab apartments. They had, there was a leak on one of the pipes above, and when he moved the false ceiling tiles, a fucking box of used needles fell down out of there and stuff. I always want to like go and start cleaning that up and organizing it, but it's such a full-time job to do it. And then I'm in there and I'm like, let's just go look. So we'll go there, and then we'll bring a whole van full of shit back here. And I'm like, I'll put that up for sale, and we'll use that. And we have cut bins of work in here. We have cut bins of that over in the other building. Like, there's probably $100,000 worth of materials and stuff there. It was just simpler to move out and start fresh, so everything was organized. Just the time it would take and to merge them, and man, I dread having to do it. Eventually we're gonna have to. But we'll bring a pile of shit back here and we'll put it in the garage, like, all right, now it's in the way, what do we do with it? And that's how the other building is, right? We'd have a party here or SRF. So we're like, we need all the room, we're gonna have the band in the garage, right? So we'll take all the motorcycles and take them to the other building, and then they never come back here. Or we'll take lawnmowers or something. There's so much stuff over there. Like when we built that front, I don't know how big that front building is. It's probably 4,000 feet. We put a 4,000 foot garage on the back of it. You can't see it from the road.
The size of it.
Yeah, it's the whole length of that building. There's an equal size garage on the back that we built out. And I've got fucking ninjas over there and dirt bikes. There's 23 motorcycles all total, 24.
It'll be a hell of a time when we have to go over there and start getting it all out.
I mean, if I had a proper garage here,
Yeah.
which is what we need. We need a garage for motorsport shit, and we need a garage for fabrication, and we need a garage for wood shop. You know, we need just different places that are separated. But if you have motorsports where the fucking wood or metal is, then you've got,
You destroy it.
yeah, everything's destroyed. You get all that fucking stuff all over.
Sawdust, you've got metal dust all over it.
Yeah. White people problems. Yeah, I mean, you just know what feels right just by doing it. I have almost this entire cut list in my head. Like, I know.
I have that for a lot of other stuff.
Yeah. Like, I could call you over the phone and tell you every measurement of this rig.
Yeah, all
all the time. Heather will be in the middle of something. I'm like, yeah, you need this many of this many of that. She's like, I don't know all that. I'm like,
I'm telling you right now.
I've done it over half my life.
We really need to use Heather for other things and get somebody else to do some of that other that she's doing.
Yeah, but she's capable.
I know.
She can do it without messing it up.
I know. One day an adult will walk in here. Paula does good. Paula does well cutting shit. Like when we just don't have a table for her right now. And she has the initiative. Like when
After running that machine today, I realized I think I can keep a person busy just running cut lists.
oh, absolutely. For real, you can.
Yeah.
The problem is that hot knife is running so slow right now.
Well, I can speed that up and get that worked out.
It might be time to bring in a fresh one. There's some
It wouldn't hurt to have a second one.
There's some imports right now. I saw some for about 25. Like that machine was $7,000,
Yeah,
and now it's probably 8 or 10.
I can pull it up right
But
now.
there's some. I seen some Chinese machines guys are using
I don't think there's any reason not to run that.
that are really good. Collier, I saw a dude had one of those Sheffield machines like we have, and they made a jig on it, so when it cuts, it also folds. So it takes, like this piece I'm bending here, as soon as it cuts, it's got a piece that folds so that this sticks here in the proper size so that the sewer doesn't have to guess what the fold is. Because right now, if you watch what our production's doing, they're doing all kinds of nonsense. They're sewing this to sew this rather than just holding this and sewing it. Like 30% of our labor is unnecessary. I've never seen anything like it. And when I go in there to correct it, we lose 50%.
Yeah. It would be nice to have a cold cutter that's 6 inches wide.
Is that a thing?
I'm sure it is.
You're right, because we do cut a ton of fucking wide Velcro.
Well, I mean, every time I run a batch of Apex, you get 5 pieces.
That's what I'm saying. For every piece of 6-inch Velcro you cut, that's 3 strips that you don't of 2-inch that you don't have to sew on.
But being able to run that through a machine would be rather nice too.
Grab that big 52-inch roll of Velcro and cut it on the laser.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
I'd like to be able to put logos, cut logos out of our Velcro. So you have multicam black Velcro, 4-inch wide or whatever, and cut a combat cock in the middle of it so you see it behind the, with red behind it or whatever.
Easy.
All right, there's that, guys. Verticals, horizontals. These I'm going to sew on right here, and what these are these are the support attachments to the butt pack. I am missing belt loops for this, which will go inside and get anyways. There was something else I needed to do on this too. Hold on. Let's get this taken care of first.
So for a hot cutter like we've got, here's one on eBay, 3,800.
3,800.
Is that a bigger model?
For 5?
Yeah, instead of a 510, it's an 810. So I
Is it a Sheffield?
assume it's a Sheffield.
Sheffield machines are great, new,
Yeah,
but anytime we've had to work on one or get replacement parts from them,
very aware.
it is not the same shit they send you for replacement parts. Like those springs on those manual cutters, it's half the size. Dennis, that's his name, Dennis at Sheffield. I used to buy cases of webbing, and the place I bought the webbing from would take an entire case of webbing for me and cut it at no charge. They would run it through their cutter, and I would have an entire case of webbing shipped to us in 3-inch cuts, and 3.5, and 6.5, and 8 and 10. And then we would take those and put them in drawers. And we had a whole wall in the Oceanside shop that it went black, green, coyote. Back then it was tan. So we had all of our pre-cut webbing. So when we would build 40 of these vests, we had a dude named Paulo. We called him Greasy Jesus. He looked like Jesus. His hair was all greasy and a big cocaine fingernail. And all he did was cut rigs. He cut patrol vests and CQB vests all day long. And then when we needed the parts, we had them all pre-cut. We just pull them out of drawers. We never had to change rolls or anything.
We changed what we're making so much.
I know. Yeah, I know. Because we don't have dealers.
Yeah, you're not running a batch of 100 of this and sending them
All right, these are the elastic right here. These go on right here. And what these are for is when this comes back, this, you can tuck all of your straps up inside here is what this is for. Nowadays, really, we should probably just change this and move this to one wrap altogether. If anything is going to fail on this rig, it will be this elastic. But we've got elastic out there that's decades old, still functioning. I'm not sure what the rhyme or reason on the elastic is, because we use the exact same elastic that we've always used. And every now and then you'll see a guy whose shotgun trays are loose. But then we have guys like Ranger Dave and Jeff and myself, and we have shotgun trays. Like Jeff said, when he came back from Iraq, his trays were still full of shotgun shells. And he had them in his attic in Temecula. So it's like 200 degrees in the attic, right? He's had them in his trunk and stuff. And I'm assuming it's just something in the air that they were set next to, maybe some kind of off-gassing chemical or something. But every now and then you'll see a guy that has them and he's like, I just loaded these up. I've never used them and now they don't work. But it's few and far between. We also see guys, some guys have a weird body chemistry, and their Cobra buckles, we see like 3 guys a year, and we do, what, 50,000 Cobra buckles some years? You'll see like 3 dudes a year, and their Cobra buckles have flaked off, like the aluminum has literally disintegrated.
Just from the acidity and the...
It's something in their body, yeah. Because I've had guys that are like, hey, I can't wear an aluminum buckle. I can only wear stainless steel. I'm allergic to it, and it's something like that.
That's like my dog. He's allergic to aluminum,
Yeah, maybe that's the deal.
but he's also allergic to grass and chicken. So
And himself.
I don't know if we can.
Sounds like he has alpha gal. Fucking Plum Island got him. You need to go out and find Bigfoot and have him take your dog through the portal, come back, maybe it'll fix his DNA.
Maybe. He's 14. He's still rolling.
All he needs is BPC 157 and some TB 500. Just make him inhale that stuff. There's another one they're adding into the stack now that I hadn't heard of before. Like KPV, but it's not that, it's something else. Okay, now this, when we sew this down, you want to be cognizant that you're not sewing through and tacking any of this extra stuff down, because you want this bulk here. So nothing here. I'm going to move like I did right here. There's an example of what not to do right there. just like that. But that's pretty flat, so. Time is it?
410.
410. That's a shotgun caliber. Is that a caliber?
410.
Is that a caliber or gauge? It's a gauge. Shotgun pump on my lap at all times. Who sung that? Rage?
Let me see.
Fuck you, we won't do what you told us.
Oh, it's Rage Against the Machine.
It's weird. They got a lot of money, became liberal, and now it's like, fuck you, you will do whatever we tell you. They made people get vaccinated to go to their concerts and shit. Because when you have that much money and you're part of the elite, you want people to not be able to breed.
Yeah.
That's the elites, right? If we get rid of all the commoners, then they can buy all the land cheaper and have massive ranches and shit. Did you see Zelensky just bought a ranch?
Yeah, I saw that. The 119,000
Miles?
Yeah. I can't
Yeah,
remember.
miles of like crazy. Crazy that we're letting that motherfucker. Huh? Yeah, you know who paid for it. A lot of the politicians are moving their residences onto military bases. Yeah. I guess that big thing in the in space that was headed towards us that they kept saying corrected and was definitely a spaceship and everything. I guess it passed us. I guess it didn't end up.
Any aliens?
And that's what they were all alluding to. I mean, I'm sure we have aliens in some of the bases, but the aliens to be concerned about are the ones that they let across the border for the last several years. Better worry about them alien emus.
Make a
Artwork.
mini rig that goes on one of your emus.
I don't think I could get it on them. Somebody was like, you should put I think Evan said that, put a GoPro on them. But I don't know how I would mount it. Like if I put it around their neck, it's just gonna flop all over the place, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know how I would do it, but maybe we should do some artwork for some emu sentries, night vision, and that artwork Jason did for the Green Dragon Tavern is pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't ever catch that, and I send it to somebody and he's like, oh, that's awesome, but there's no mount for the night vision. So I'm like, okay, put a mount for the night vision. He does it, and he's like, make them quads. He's like, it removed the damn mount. Now it's not like ChatGPT just does not.
Yeah. I think you can use it to an extent and then send that to an artist to add stuff.
As good as it is, it's
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's giving false information. It's like it gives you what it thinks you want to hear. Okay, I'm missing tri-glides and belt loops. I need a belt loop. I need 2 belt loops. Okay. Cut. Here's the belt loops. I just built them inside because I had to put snaps in them, and I don't have snap presses out here. But you saw how we built them on the panel part of the video. So I'm just going to tack these in place right here. See, skip those stitches right there. Man, it's nice outside. I just want to be outside right now.
Yeah, it feels good. It's hot in here.
Guys were saying we need to do another property video. Just a property walk.
Yeah.
We should probably do that anyways. With all the changes I'm wanting to make, just vocalize those. I'm sure guys will have some good input on some of that. How we need to move the dirt and everything. Okay, back panel, done. Ka-chow. There should be a tri-glide that goes here, which is still not out here. And then this goes here. And this is what clips into the top of the butt pack. And on the butt pack, that actually runs to attach to the belt. And our butt pack, you can run it high or low. It has 2 different levels of attachment. That's that. This right here, I need the attachment straps put on the sides right here for, I have those out here. Where did I put those? Here. These clip into the side attachments on the camelback. The camelback hangs down and then pulls to both sides evenly. And that makes it very stable. And that is what these right here are. Those are the attachments for that. So let's sew these real quick. The real answer with all that up there is we bring in a big ass dozer and we bulldoze everything and make it all level-ish.
Yeah.
But I'm not wanting to do that because it's all on a hill, right? And where that rabbit structure is built, that barn up there, if we bulldozed it all down, the real answer is we just pull that whole rabbit structure out of there and then rebuild it. But I'm trying not to, and I know that I'm making things way more difficult by not just starting over from scratch, yeah. So I'm trying to visualize, like, what do we just leave that as like the elevated area right there where all the chickens are, you know? All right, we are done. Mostly peacefully done. Mostly peaceful protest. All right, we're gonna put buckles here. And here. And these go through here. I watch people try to lace these up when we hire new people to put buckles here. and they'll mess with it for 20 minutes. Like, I'm like, I don't understand how you are making this so difficult, because it is not a hard task.
If you're doing it once, you're probably like, hey, I got that.
There's clearly a you problem here. We need to start another level of Patreon or concierge. We should actually do it on our own, because Patreon retains 40% of your money, right? I think it's 40, maybe it's 10, I don't know. Like a concierge service, VIP, and VIP members will build their shit on video, and they'll have access, we'll expedite their stuff when they ask about it, shit like that. Like the videos, like the live videos where we let guys ask about their orders and shit, but do it as a membership subscription. Have you noticed my lives? They've been building them into like a short.
Yeah, it's weird.
Some of them work good. Like the one they just gave me, was off by like 20 seconds. If it was 20 seconds the other direction.
But even still, at least it's just something that's there with those like.
Yeah,
lives,
but it makes no sense. The one they just
might
gave
even
me.
be better.
But the other one, there's a couple of that I've made live that I'm like, oh, this actually works. All right, there's the panels together. Now let's put this. We usually don't do this on a sewing machine table. We usually do it on a bigger table. So this here, we'll go inside and get some good video of this once it's all together. And then this Velcro's here, so whatever mag pouches you put here, you can Velcro the lid in the up position if you want to. You can also put patches and name tapes there. And it's also slotted. There's a big slot here, so you could put a push to talk, like the attachment, the clip. And then it's also slotted on the outside, so if you want to attach something, you can run malice clips through there also. You guys thought of everything. We did, actually. We did think of everything. And then these Velcro in the down position. I don't know why. I mean, I do know why, because in case they ever fell gravity-wise, they were just always closed on the down. But the chances of them coming undone at the top position, now that I look at it, I would probably redo them, but that's where they are. So there is the entire vest. We always called these vests, but really I guess they are LBVs, load-bearing vests. So, fat man in a little coat. There it is. All right, modular patrol vest. You guys just watched us build this. This thing has 12 inches of adjustment here, 12 here and here. So past this, it will come out 36 inches. There's 12 inches of adjustment here and here, so you can drop this down 12 inches beyond what it is. You've got panels here with scuba webbing, Velcro sewn onto them. Any pockets can be Velcroed into the up position. You can also put name tapes or attach anything Velcro back to this. These have a slot here in the middle, which is larger. You can put your attachment clip for your push to talk here. And then you have slots here and here, which malice clips or zip ties will go through. As on all of the LBVs, all of these are an internal pocket. The panel, the entirety of the panel is an internal pocket all the way back, as is the back panel also. These have adjustments, they have routing. These have routing through here all the way up through both channels for 4. You've got attachments here, as well as you can attach things around here. Same going through here. We have a hydration carrier, which will attach through these slots here, and then they will run into the side here. So the hydration with the water runs down, clips into the side, and pulls it in opposite directions to make it very stable. Our butt pack attaches to a belt on these. The belt goes to these 6 belt loops. The butt pack attaches to the belt, and then these clips support the top of the butt pack to keep it from sagging down. Drag handle that you can actually drag somebody with. With the butt pack in place, you can actually pick somebody up and move them, carry them, or even midget toss them if you wanted to. So let's see your videos of your midget tossing. And this is the modular LBV. All of our LBVs, Rallyman, Patrol, CQB vests, LBVs, they all have the features that I have named. The difference is in those other rigs, those magazine pouches are all sewn in place. You have enough PALS fields on this, each panel. You can put 2 Rallymans, another 2, you can put 1 Rallyman, 1 Rallyman, and then you have 4 more. You can easily put a 6x6 or anything else that you want if you let it hang down lower, but it is meant for the 6x6 right there. You could also run 4 magazine pouches all the way across both sides, each magazine pouch holding 3 M4 mags. So 3, 6, 9, yep, 24, there you go. That's it.